Hello and welcome to Let's Play City of Thieves by Ian Livingstone, a thrilling fantasy adventure in which you are the hero. Okay, I'll just zoom out so you can see the front cover. There we go. Very menacing. This is the 5th book in the Fighting Fantasy series, as you can see. Okay, let's read the synopsis here. Part story, part game. This is a book with a difference, one in which you become the hero. Okay. Terror stalks the night as Zanbar Bone and his bloodthirsty moondogs hold the prosperous town of Silverton to ransom. You are an adventurer, and the merchants of Silverton turn to you in their hour of need. Your mission takes you along dark, twisting streets where thieves, vagabonds, and creatures of the night lie in wait to trap the unwary traveller. And beyond lies the most fearsome adventure of them all, the tower stronghold of the infamous Zanbar Bone. 2 dice, a pencil, and an eraser are all you need to make your journey. You decide which route to take, which creatures to fight, and which dangers to risk. Cover illustration by Ian McCaig. Okay. At the time of this edition's release, there were only 8 books in the series. Apart from this one, I've done them all. I've done Warlock of Firetop Mountain, I've done Citadel of Chaos, Forest of Doom, Starship Traveller, Death Trap Dungeon, and Island of the Lizard King. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain and Island of the Lizard King were I first did when I was very little. That was followed by Death Trap Dungeon. Books 2 to 5 I didn't read until much later on in my life. Anyway, I used to order them from the library. If you wanted to order something from the library, it probably still, this is probably still how it works. If you're an adult, it costs 50p to order from the library because they have to deliver it from some other library nearby. But if you're a child, i.e. under 16, then it was free of charge because they want to encourage children to read. So I used to order these from the library. It was a very sort of rudimentary computer system with which to order. It was just a black and green screen with green text, and you had to scan your library card and search for books. I used to search for Ian Livingstone or Steve Jackson, see what was available in the local area. And I managed to order Death Trap Dungeon and Island of the Lizard King. It was really exciting for me back in the day. I was really desperate to read some different books after having digested the Warlock of Firetop Mountain really thoroughly. Anyway, there's the front cover again. Right, let's read the inner sort of synopsis thing. Unsure what you call this, but it's just sort of further synopsis. Okay, the City of Thieves. Terror stalks the night as Zanbar Bone and his bloodthirsty moondogs hold the prosperous town of Silverton to ransom. You are an adventurer, a sword for hire, and the merchants of Silverton turn to you in their hour of need. Your task takes you to the dark, twisting streets of Port Blacksand in search of vital information without which the ultimate defeat is impossible. Without which the ultimate defeat is impossible. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So, yeah. Thieves, vagabonds, and creatures of the night lie in wait to trap the unwary traveller, and often your only choice is to kill or be killed. That's a bit like Black Dawn, blast or be blasted. If you remember from the front cover of Black Dawn, if you played that game. Then beyond the port lies the most fearsome adventure of them all, the tower stronghold of the Prince of Night himself, Zanbar Bone. Ian Livingstone, co-founder of the highly successful Games Workshop and editor of White Dwarf, has created a thrilling sword and sorcery adventure, complete with an elaborate combat system and an adventure sheet with which to record your gains and losses. All you need is 2 dice, a pencil, and an eraser, or a text file, and my trusty old dice program, which is annoying, but you know, I love it too much. Okay, oh, there's more books in this one, in this list. So yeah, by the time this book's released, then it must have there must have been 13 released. I don't know why they have only 7 listed on the back cover, but 13 here. It's a little bit weird. But whatever. City of Thieves, illustrated by Ian McCaig. Okay, so you did the front cover and the inside illustrations. Okay, let's get straight to it. How to fight the creatures of the City of Thieves. Before embarking on your adventure, you must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. You have in your possession a sword and a backpack containing provisions, food and drink, for the trip. You have been preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay and exercising vigorously to build up your stamina. To see how effective your preparations have been, you must use the dice to determine your initial skill and stamina scores. On pages 18 to 19 there is an adventure sheet which you may use to record the details of an adventure. On it you will find boxes for recording your skill and stamina scores. Okay, so we have a sword. Let's put that down. Equipment. So I'll just write sword. Put it in lowercase because I can't be bothered with capitals. Okay. I don't know why it says luck 12 there. I must have not removed that. And new paragraph 53. That was lingering sort of numbers that I forgot to delete from my Starship Traveller thing, whatever it's called. Anyway, back to reading. To see how effective your preparations have been, you must use the dice to determine your initial skill and stamina scores. On pages 18 to 19 there's an adventure sheet which you may use to record the details of an adventure. On it you will find boxes for recording your skill and stamina scores. You are advised either, don't like that split infinitive, you are advised either to record your scores on the adventure sheet in pencil or make photocopies of the page to use in future adventures. Skill, stamina and luck. Roll 1 die, add 6 to this number and enter this total in the skill box on the adventure sheet. Okay, roll 1 die. Okay. No. Yes. Okay, so we've got 5 and add 6 to that and we get 11. Alright, so 11 is our initial skill score. That's done. What else are we doing? Roll both dice, add 12 to the number rolled and enter this total in the stamina box. So 24 is the maximum. And 14 is the minimum. Right, okay. So roll 2 dice and add 12 to the total. Here we go. What am I doing? There we are. Nope, 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 yes. Okay, so we've got 23. Let's get rid of the buzzing, as always. So 23 is the... excuse me just for a moment, something seems to have gone wrong somewhere. I'll be back in just a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, very difficult to explain what happened, but it involved trying to load a video file into a text document, and it caused something to break. But regardless of that, I got 23 for my stamina. So let's put that down. There we go. So that's my initial stamina score. There is also a luck box. Roll 1 die, add 6 to this number, and enter this total in the luck box. For reasons that will be explained below. Oh yeah, we have to do that, don't we, of course. So roll 1 die. Yeah. Yeah, okay, we've got 6 plus 5, which is 11. Get rid of the buzzing. So we've got 11 luck for initial luck. There we go. That will likely change. Anyway, for reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina and luck scores change constantly during an adventure. You must keep an accurate record of these scores, and for this reason you are advised either to write small in the boxes or to keep an eraser handy, but never rub out your initial scores. Although you may be awarded additional skill, stamina and luck points, these totals may never exceed your initial scores. Your skill score reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. The higher the better. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and magic are facts of life in the fantasy kingdom you are about to explore. Okay, battles. You will often come across pages in the book which instruct you to fight a creature of some sort. An option to flee may be given, but if not, or if you choose to attack the creature anyway, you must resolve the battle as described below. First, record your creature's skill and stamina scores in the first vacant monster encounter box on your adventure sheet. The scores for each creature are given in the book each time you have an encounter. The secret of combat is then, or thus, roll both dice once for the creature, add its skill score. This total is the creature's attack strength. Roll both dice once for yourself, add the number rolled to your current skill score. This total is your attack strength. If your attack strength is higher than that of the creature, you have wounded it. Proceed to step 4. If the creature's attack strength is higher than yours, it has wounded you. Proceed to step 5. If both attack strength totals are the same, you have avoided each other's blows. Start at the next attack round from step 1 above. You have wounded the creature, so subtract 2 points from its stamina score. You may use your luck here to do additional damage. See over. The creature has wounded you, so subtract 2 points from your own stamina score. Again, you may use luck at this stage. See over. Make the appropriate adjustments to either the creature's or your own stamina score and your luck score if you use luck. See over. Begin the next attack round by returning to your current skill score and repeating steps 1 to 6. This sequence continues until the stamina score of either you or the creature you are fighting has been reduced to 0. Death. Escaping. On some pages you may be given the option of running away from battle should things be going badly for you. However, if you do run away, the creature automatically gets in 1 wound on you, subtract 2 stamina points as you flee. Such is the price of cowardice. Again, not really cowardice, it could be tactical, you know. Oh no, I'm going to die. Oh, I can't run away. It's cowardice. Oh no, there's a big grizzly bear about to eat me alive. I can't run away. You know, I have to fight it because it's cowardice if I run away. I mean, it's stupid. Anyway, know that you may use luck on this wound in the normal way. See below. You may only escape if that option is specifically given to you on the page. Fighting more than one creature. If you come across more than one creature in a particular encounter, the instructions on that page will tell you how to handle the battle. Sometimes you will treat them as a single monster, sometimes you will fight each one in turn. It's an excellent use of a semicolon there. If you ever need to know how to use a semicolon, just here is where it's supposed to be used. Perfect. It's not... You need something stronger than a comma, but you don't want to make a new sentence. So that's semicolon. A little bit stronger than a comma, but not as strong as a full stop. Or period, if you're American. I mean, why do they call them periods? I mean, do they want to make it sound like a menstrual cycle or what? I mean, it's a full stop. Because you've come to a stop. It's the end of a sentence. I mean, in Morse code, you know, when you come to a full stop, you actually say S-T-O-P for stop. You don't say period. You know, anyway. Americans always have to be different. Anyway, luck. At various times during your adventure, either in battles or when you come across situations in which you could either be lucky or unlucky, details of these are given on the pages themselves, you may call on your luck to make the outcome more favourable. But beware, using luck is a risky business, and if you are unlucky, the results could be disastrous. The procedure for using your luck is as follows. Roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal to or less than your current luck score, you have been lucky and the result will go in your favour. If the number rolled is higher than your current luck score, you have been unlucky and you will be penalised. This procedure is known as testing your luck. Each time you test your luck, you must subtract 1 point from your current luck score. Thus, you will soon realise that the more you rely on your luck, the more risky this will become. Using luck in battles. On certain pages of the book, you will be told to test your luck, and will be told the consequences of your being lucky or unlucky. However, in battles, you always have the option of using your luck, either to inflict a more serious wound on a creature you have just wounded, or to minimise the effects of a wound the creature has just inflicted on you. If you have just wounded the creature, you may test your luck as described above. If you are lucky, you have inflicted a severe wound and may subtract an extra 2 points from the creature's stamina score. However, if you are unlucky, the wound was a mere graze and you must restore 1 point to the creature's stamina score, i.e. instead of scoring the normal 2 points of damage, you have now scored only 1. If the creature has just wounded you, you may test your luck to try to minimise the wound. If you are lucky, you have managed to avoid the full damage of the blow. Restore 1 point of stamina, i.e. instead of doing 2 points of damage, it has done only 1. If you are unlucky, you have taken a more serious blow. Subtract 1 extra stamina point. Remember that you must subtract 1 point from your own luck score each time you test your luck. Restoring skill, stamina, and luck. Your skill score will not change much during your adventure. Occasionally, a page may give instructions to increase or decrease your skill score. A magic weapon may increase your skill, but remember that only one weapon can be used at a time. You cannot claim 2 skill bonuses for carrying 2 magic swords. Your skill score can never exceed its initial value. Drinking the potion of skill, see later, will restore your skill to its initial value at any time. Stamina and provisions. Your stamina score will change a lot during your adventure as you fight monsters and undertake arduous tasks. As you near your goal, your stamina level may be dangerously low and battles may be particularly risky, so be careful. Your backpack contains enough provisions for 10 meals. Let's put that down. So provisions 10. And for 10 meals. You may rest and eat at any time except when engaged in a battle. Eating a meal restores 4 stamina points. When you eat a meal, add 4 points to your stamina score and deduct 1 point from your provisions. The separate provisions remaining box is provided on the adventure sheet for recording details of provisions. Remember that you have a long way to go, so use your provisions wisely. Remember also that your stamina score may never exceed its initial value. Drinking the potion of strength, see later, will restore your stamina to its initial level at any time. Luck. Additions to your luck score are awarded through the adventure when you have been particularly lucky. Details are given on the pages of the book. Remember that, as with skill and stamina, your luck score may never exceed its initial value. Drinking the potion of fortune, see later, will restore your luck to its initial level at any time and increase your initial luck by 1 point. So it just said your luck score may never exceed its initial value, then it just says it can if you drink the potion of fortune, so it just immediately contradicted itself. Brilliant. Equipment and potions. You will start your adventure with a bare minimum of equipment, but you may find or buy other items during your travels. You are armed with a sword and are dressed in leather armor. Leather armor. Armor with a U, because, we're not American. You have a backpack to hold your provisions and any treasures you may come across. In addition, you may take 1 bottle of a magic potion which will aid you on your quest. You may choose to take a bottle of any of the following. A potion of skill restores skill points, a potion of strength restores stamina points, a potion of fortune restores luck points and adds 1 to initial luck. We're going to take the potion of luck, or potion of fortune, whatever. Done. Next. These potions may be taken at any time during adventure except when engaged in a battle. Taking a measure of potion will restore skill, stamina, or luck scores to initial level, and the potion of fortune will add 1 point to your initial luck score before luck is restored. Each bottle of potion contains enough for 1 measure, i.e. the characteristic may be restored once during an adventure. Make a note on your adventure sheet when you have used up a potion. Remember also that you may choose 1 of the 3 potions to take on your trip, so choose wisely. Choose 1. Okay, hints on play. There is 1 true way through the city of Thieves, and it will take you several attempts to find it. Make notes and draw a map as you explore. This map will be invaluable in future adventures and enable you to progress rapidly through to unexplored sections. Not all areas contain treasure, some merely contain traps and creatures which you will no doubt fall foul. You may make wrong turnings during your quest, and while you may indeed progress through to your ultimate destination, it is by no means certain that you will find for what you are searching. It will be realized that entries make no sense if read in numerical order. It is essential that you read only the entries you are instructed to read. Reading other entries will only cause confusion and may lessen the excitement during play. The 1 true way involves a minimum of risk, and any player, no matter how weak on initial dice rolls, should be able to get through fairly easily. May the luck of the gods go with you on the adventure ahead. Okay, there's the adventure sheet, and the person who scanned this book, or the previous owner of this book that was scanned, has used the adventure sheet. They actually did it. They actually wrote in the book. I mean, seriously, at least just get a bit of paper, notebook, anything, newspaper, just anything but write in the book. I mean, seriously, it's like those idiots that write in the instruction manuals of games. They actually write in the notes and they write in ink, codes and stuff. Don't do that. Just write on a bit of paper. Don't actually write in the manual and ruin it for the next owner, i.e. me. Anyway, background. You are an adventurer in a world of monsters and magic, living by quickness of wit and skill of sword. You earn your gold as a hired warrior, usually in the employ of rich nobles and barons on missions too dangerous or difficult for their own men. Slaying monsters and fearsome beasts in pursuit of some fabled treasure becomes a second nature to you. Being an experienced and highly trained swordsman, you allow nothing to stand in your way on your quests. Your success on a mission is always assured, and your reputation is spread throughout the lands. Whenever you enter a village or town, the news of your arrival spreads through the citizens like wildfire, as few of them have ever met a dragon slayer before. One evening, after a long walk through the outlands, you arrive at Silverton, which lies at the crossroads of the main trading routes in these parts. Great wooden wagons, hauled by teams of oxen, are often seen rumbling slowly through the town, laden with herbs, spices, silks, metalware, and exotic foods from far-off lands. Over the years, Silverton has prospered as a result of the rich merchants and traders stopping there en route to distant markets. Its wealth is quite apparent, with ornate buildings and richly dressed people aplenty, but as you enter the town gates, something strikes you as being not quite right. The people look nervous and on edge. Then you notice that all the windows in the buildings have great iron grilles bolted over them, and the doors have been strengthened too. Although you prefer your own company to that of others, you decide to stay in Silverton for the night to find out who or what is troubling the people. As you walk down the main street, a single note from a bell rings out from a tall tower ahead. Then a man shouts almost desperately, "Nightfall, nightfall, everybody indoors." You see people scurrying around with anxious faces and looking surprised when they see you. Across the street you see a tavern with the words "The Old Toad" painted on its signboard. As you enter the tavern, a whisper runs through the locals as they recognize you. Some put down their mugs and stare. You are somewhat surprised that none comes over to you. See, none always takes singular. None means not one. You wouldn't say not one come over to you, you say not one comes over to you. So it should be that none comes over to you to hear tales of adventure. And walking over to the counter, you ask the old innkeeper for a room and a hot tub, but he ignores you and shuffles over to the great oak door, pushing 6 large iron bolts into place. Only then does he turn to you and say quietly, "That will be 5 copper pieces for the room and 1 more for the tub. In advance, if you please." You reach into a leather pouch on your belt and toss the coins on the counter. He hands you an iron key. But at that very moment there is a loud knocking at the door, followed by a voice shouting, "Open up, open up! This is Owen Caroliff." The old innkeeper shuffles over to the oak door again and slides open the bolts. Then a fat and balding man dressed in rich scarlet robes bursts into the tavern, looking around frantically. He sees you and walks quickly in your direction, huffing and puffing. He is a man certainly not used to haste. You notice great beads of sweat on his forehead in the pale candlelight of the room. As he nears you, he calls out urgently, "Stranger, I must speak with you. Please sit down. It is important that I speak with you." When he turns to the innkeeper to snap his fingers for food and drink, you can see that he is obviously of some standing in the town, but his face is full of anguish and sorrow. Being curious, you decide to hear what the man has to say. He pulls out a chair for you at a table, bidding you to sit down, and the innkeeper bustles in with a tray laden with hot broth, roast goose, and mead. The man in the scarlet robe sits opposite in silence, watching you as you feast, as though examining you for some purpose of his own. Finally, as you push your plate away, the man leans forward and says in a low but anxious voice, "Stranger, I know of you and seek your aid. My name is Owen Caroliff, and I am the mayor of Silverton. We are in great trouble and danger. We are living under a curse, and it is I who must rid us of it. 10 days ago, 2 messengers of evil rode into town on huge black stallions with fiery red eyes. It was impossible to see the faces of the riders, for they wore long black cloaks with hoods pulled over their faces. Their voices were cold, and each word spoken ended with an unnerving hiss. They asked for me by name, and when I came to greet them, they wanted to take my beloved daughter, Mirel, to stay with their master, Zanbar Bone. No doubt you know that he is the Night Prince. Of course I refused their demand, and without another word they turned and rode away out of the town, heads down and shoulders hunched. I knew then that beneath the cloaks were hidden the skeletal and soulless bodies of spirit stalkers. Zanbar Bone always uses them as his messengers, as they will complete their mission or die in the attempt, and they do not die easily. Only a silver arrow through the heart will release those evil beings from their eternal twilight existence. Who knows what it would take to kill Zanbar Bone? Anyway, that same night after the spirit stalkers left, our troubles began. The Night Prince was angry and determined to harm us. 6 moon dogs came, each stronger than 4 men, each with razor-sharp fangs. They stalked through the town, entering homes through open windows and killing the poor people inside. In the morning we counted 23 dead, so we barred our windows and bolted our doors. Yet each night the moon dogs return, and we are unable to sleep for fear that they might find a way into our homes. Some people are now talking of sending Mirel to Zanbar Bone, those whimpering traitors. I should have them flogged. But what good would that do? There is but one hope, and that rests with you, stranger. There is a man called Nicodemus, who, for reasons I'll never understand, lives in Port Blacksand. The place is commonly called the City of Thieves, as it is the home of every pirate, brigand, assassin, and thief and evildoer for hundreds of miles around. I think he lives there just to get some peace from the likes of us. He is a wise old wizard and is He is a wise old wizard and is unlikely to come to much harm even in Port Blacksand, for his magical powers are great. He alone is capable of defeating Zanbarbone. He used to be a friend of mine many years ago. We need him, and I beg you to bring him to us. None here dares enter Port Blacksand. You will be that should be dare enter, because dare is acting like a modal verb, so it doesn't need to have the S on the end. None here dare enter Port Blacksand. You will be well rewarded if you help a stranger. Take these 30 gold pieces for your journey, and take this sword to use and keep. I thought I already had a sword. Anyway, 30 gold, so let's put 30 here. There's quite a backstory to this one. As Owen Caroliff rises, he pulls back his scarlet robe, revealing the finest broadsword you have ever seen. He hands it to you, and touching the edge of the blade, you are surprised to see a droplet of blood fall from your finger. You then examine the marvellously ornate gilded serpents. I mean, seriously, wouldn't you be in pain? You'd be like, ow! You then examine the marvellously ornate gilded serpents twining round the hilt. You have never wanted anything so badly in your life before. You stand up and hold out your right arm to Owen. He shakes it eagerly, saying, "You must set off at the first light of dawn. The moon dogs will be gone by then. I shall be forced to stay the night here also, so let's drink to our destiny, and may the gods be with us." For the next hour, Owen talks about your coming journey, explaining in detail how to reach Port Blacksand. Later, you gather up your backpack and furs and climb the wooden stairs to your room. You sleep uneasily despite the security afforded by your new broadsword, as you are more than once woken by the sniffing, scratching and howling of the roaming moon dogs outside. By dawn, you are already awake and dressed, and determined to reach Port Blacksand quickly to find this man Nicodemus. As you leave the tavern, a black cat scurries past your feet and you almost trip. A bad omen perhaps? Now turn over. Here we go, finally. Right. Okay, that's quite menacing, isn't it? The walk to Port Blacksand takes you west some 50 miles across plains and over hills, fortunately without any harmful encounters. Eventually you reach the coast and see the high city walls surrounding Port Blacksand and the cluster of buildings projecting into the sea like an ugly black mark. Ships lie anchored in the harbour, and smoke rises gently from chimneys. It looks peaceful enough, and it is only when the wind changes that you smell the decay in the breeze to remind you of the evil nature of this notorious place. Following the dusty road north along the coast to the city gates, you begin to notice fearful warnings: skulls on wooden spikes, starving men in iron cages suspended from the city wall, and black flags everywhere. As you approach the main gate, a chill runs down your spine, and you instinctively grip the hilt of your broadsword for reassurance. At the gate, you are confronted by a tall guard wearing a black chainmail coat and iron helmet. He steps forward, barring the way with his pike, saying, "Who would enter Port Blacksand uninvited? State the nature of your business, or go back the way you came." How can it be a port or anything if you have to be invited? How can you operate a commercial centre like that? It's only going to harm business. Anyway, state the nature of your business or go back the way you came. Will you tell him you wish to be taken to Nicodemus, 10 to 202. Tell him you wish to sell some stolen booty, 10 to 33. Excuse me one moment, please. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Where was I? Oh yeah. Tell him you wish to be taken to Nicodemus, 10 to 202. Tell him you wish to sell some stolen booty, 10 to 33. Or attack him quickly with your sword, 10 to 49. We're going to tell him that we wish to be taken to Nicodemus, and 10 to 202. Here we go. Okay, the guard replies that he will send for an escort to take you to Nicodemus. He reaches up to a small bell on the wall of the guardhouse and rings it 3 times. Almost immediately 2 other guards come running out of the house, and you are surprised when they each grab hold of one of your arms. The guard with the pike looks up to the sky and laughs, saying, "So you want to see Nicodemus, do you? How would you like to see the inside of a dungeon cell instead?" Guards, take this fool away to be shackled and throw away the key. Will you allow yourself to be taken away? Turn to 151. Attempt to fight the guards, turn to 69, or try to bribe the guards, turn to 276. And we're going to allow ourselves to be taken away, so turn to 151. The two guards lead you into the guardhouse and take you immediately downstairs to the cells below. There are 4 cells, and all are empty except for one which houses a frail, white-haired old man. The guards unlock the cell next to the old man's and throw you in, placing your sword on a table outside. The only contents of the cell are a straw mattress and a pail of water. The guards go back upstairs, and as they disappear, the old man gets up off his bed and starts to speak. "You're an outsider, aren't you?" "Don't reply, it's obvious. Do you want me to set you free? Give me 10 gold pieces and I'll have you out in 5 minutes. The old man then puts his arm through the bars of your cell with the palm of his hand upturned. If you wish to give the old man 10 gold pieces, turn to 351. If you would rather ignore the old man, turn to 29. We're going to ignore the old man and turn to 29. Here we are. You squat down on the mattress and consider what to do next. If you wish to feign illness and throw the iron pail against the bars of the cell to attract the guard's attention, turn to 143. If you wish to inspect the cell closely in the hope of finding a secret escape route, turn to 230. That's it, okay. We're going to attract the guard's attention and turn to 143. When you hear the guards coming down the stairs, you lie on the floor and start to groan. They unlock the cell door and enter. If you wish to continue with your feigned illness and tell them that you think you have the plague, turn to 306. If you wish to fight them unarmed, turn to 157. We're going to tell them that we think we have the plague and turn to 306. And the two guards look at each other in horror and run out of the cell up the stairs, screaming "Plague!" at the top of their voices. Smiling to yourself, you walk calmly out of the cell and pick up your sword off the table. Upstairs, you find that the guards have fled. A search of the room reveals 2 gold pieces and the merchant's pass to trade in Port Blacksand. Taking your findings, you move over to the door and creep outside into the city. 10 to 74. Okay, so an extra 2 gold pieces. So up to 32 now, and we have a merchant's pass. I'll just put merchant's pass. Okay. Okay, 10 to 74. Through the main gates, you see that the rubbish-filled streets of the port are narrow and cobbled. Old and decrepit buildings line them closely, with their upper stories overhanging menacingly. You may go west down Quay Street, turn to 95. Head north along Market Street, turn to 116. Or go east down Clock Street, turn to 17. We're going to go east down Clock Street and turn to 17. Yeah, this is much more like it, doing one of these books. What's the point of that? Yeah, doing one of these sword and sorcery books. Much prefer them. I just don't think fighting fantasy works with that sort of futuristic sci-fi situation. Anyway, walking along the narrow street, you see a. Whoops, can't read that. Walking along the narrow street, you see a man wearing tattered rags sitting in the gutter. His head rests on his hands and he looks thoroughly miserable. If you wish to stop to talk to him, turn to 331. If you'd rather continue walking east, turn to 161. I think that's the man, isn't it? Yeah. He's a very Roman nose. We're going to talk to him. So turn to 331. As you approach the man, he suddenly springs up and screams at the top of his voice. He produces a dagger from his ragged clothing and leaps at you. His wild eyes belong to a man insane or possessed, and you must fight him. Madman. Skill 5, stamina 5. Okay. So Madman. Skill 5, Stamina 5. Let's resolve this battle. Okay, so we roll for him first. My skill is 11, his is 5. Let's go. Affirmative control, let's do this. That's from World's Scariest Police Chasers, if you've seen those videos. That's on the tank one, which is mission 14. Anyway, 10 plus 5 is 15. I get 9 plus 11, which is 20. So 15 to 20. Whoops, wrong one. 15 to 20. That means I hurt him, and he's down to 3. Okay, he gets a 3, that's 8. I get a 4, that's 15. So 8 to 15. He goes down to 1, so Madman is nearly dead. Lastly, 8 to 5 is 13, and 5 to 11 is 15, so 13 to 15. That means he is dead. Good riddance. Right, to Madman. Get rid of the buzzing, good. Right, okay. If you win, turn to 86. We did. Let's go. A leather pouch hanging around the neck of the man contains a small glass ball containing what looks like swirling smoke. Will you smash the ball on the ground, turn to 45, put the ball in your backpack, turn to 194, or leave the ball behind and continue east, turn to 161? We're going to smash... yeah, we're going to smash the ball. So it's turn to 45. Ah, great. Here it is. The glass ball shatters on impact with the cobbled street. On contact with the air, the smoke turns a golden colour and begins to take the shape of a winged helmet. The helmet solidifies and rests on the street, sparkling in the sunlight. It is the most magnificent helmet you have ever seen. If you wish to place it on your head, turn to 376. If you would rather leave it alone and set off east again, turn to 161. We are going to take the helmet and put it on our head, so turn to 376. And all it needed was to start a fight with a madman in order to get that helmet. The helmet fits on your head perfectly, as though it had been specially made for you. It has magic properties also, and will allow you to add 1 point to all future dice rolls when computing your attack strength during combat, as long as you wear it. Add 1 luck point. You set off east again. Turn to 161. Okay, so we have helmet. Helmet. I'll just put +1 attack strength, and then next line. There we go. Actually, I think I'll put this on the next line, to be honest. There we are. Okay, good. That makes life a bit easier for us. Right, turn to 161. Probably be the last paragraph. 161. IQ 201. That's from Hollow Ship, Series 5, Red Dwarf, if you've seen that. Okay. The street makes a sudden left turn and continues north as far as you can see. However, you notice that round the corner the houses are much bigger, with doorways some 4 feet high. No, it's not enough, is it? What's 4 feet? Roughly 4 meters, roughly 12 feet high. On the left side of the street, you see that a door to one of the houses is open. If you wish to enter the house, turn to 245. If you wish to keep going northwards, turn to 282. We're going to keep going northwards, turn to 282. On the right-hand side of the street, you see a large wooden barrel and a small boy sitting beside it on a stool. If you wish to talk to the boy, turn to 119. If you wish to keep walking north, turn to 247. Okay. Okay. What this boy does is he will restore stamina for a cost of gold pieces. So it's up to you. If you're injured, use him. If not, you don't need to. So turn to 247. I'm not injured at all. He has some magic water, and it costs some sort of amount of gold to use the water and restore stamina. The street makes a sharp turn to the left and continues west for some distance. Turning the corner, you are suddenly jumped on by three short, stocky assailants who were hiding down an alley. Two grab your legs and one tries to knock you out with a cudgel. A cudgel is like a very hard, big wooden stick, sort of like a chair leg, but more designed for hitting people. Test your luck. If you are lucky, you manage to duck to avoid the blow, turn to 384. If you are unlucky, the cudgel lands heavily on the back of your head, knocking you unconscious. Okay, so let's test our luck. So we need a roll of 11 or less, which is 35 out of 36 probability. So we have 1 out of 36 probability of being unlucky. So let's get 2 dice. Let's roll. And we get a 6. Good. So we were lucky. Where's the mouse gone? There it is. Yep, we have to use up a luck point. I think if we're unlucky, we lose equipment or something, and it's pretty nasty. But we're lucky. Yeah, so 384. As the cudgel swings through the air above your head, you punch the dwarf holding it. He lets out a scream and drops the cudgel. Feeling his bleeding nose and seeing the blood on his hand, he screams again. And runs off down the alley. The other 2 dwarfs holding your legs realise that you are not an easy victim and run off after their fellow robber. If you wish to chase them down the alley, turn to 221. If you wish to set off west again, turn to 396. It's best never to follow robbers, even if you've defeated them once. They could have accomplices. So we're going to set off west again. So turn to 396, which is just down here. And I'll read this and then end the video. On the left side of the street is a flower shop. The window is filled with exotic and colourful flowers. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 145. If you prefer, I think that says it says prefer. If you prefer to keep walking west, turn to 24. Okay, so that's the end of this video. I'll just write in 396 in the next paragraph. 3, just in case I forget, which I probably won't, because when I open the PDF again, it'll just be at the same place, so it'll sort of remind me, but just in case it doesn't. Let's save that, Control S. Yeah, so next video, I am going to decide whether to enter the shop or to continue walking west. Yeah, so I'll decide that in the next video. Let me just do something. There we go. Yeah. So next video, I'll decide whether to enter this shop or to keep walking west. So that'll be next time. So thanks for watching and goodbye.